welcome to the first Parallel Gaming podcast.
What's up? I'm excited, dude.
Yes,
This is gonna be a really cool thing that we're all doing together. It's cool that we also were friends before. So
yeah.
you know, like all of us. I'm Bobby, Michael, but I met this Michael through like just playing TCGs. We actually played Digimon our first. Yeah, our first time was that we were playing the same exact deck.
Yeah.
Who won that match?
You did.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because
I never in that match.
because you know what? I recovered more. Remember?
Yeah,
we started playing
I
the
realized
mirror.
that the way to win was to deck you out. And that was exactly what happened. Because I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Michael I've known since high school, so I'm excited. This is the guy with all the tech. This is our tech guy.
It's our producer.
This is our producer. He does all the stuff that nobody is gonna see in the background, but it's everything that makes this.
All what we're doing everything.
Everybody see all that logo, everything.
They'll probably never see me on the podcast again.
It's gonna be the last time you see this man live.
I'd see more manga shakes.
He does have his clothes on. I promise. Like,
I got my One Piece shorts.
yeah, those are one piece shorts. So he's not doing anything wacky under that laptop.
All
What do you want?
right, so I think the first thing we should do is like just talk about what the heck is Parallel Gaming. Like, why did we start this like gaming org? Like, what's our goal here? I guess you should probably tell them the story because you kind of wrangled all of us.
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is weird. I think of it as all of us like just started at the same time, but yeah, no, I guess I was actually on a business trip. I'm in sales in my day job, and I was actually stationed out like quite a few hours, almost in another state from where I live, and I noticed that Michael was posting on some of his social media about how he was getting into like One Piece, or at least was a big fan of the show. And I had sent him a message saying, hey, you know, you should actually check out the card game. Like, they're coming out with a card game, or I think Super Pre-release had already been out. I think the boxes, the first set had just come out.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Dude,
you know, we were blown away.
Once you showed me that, I was like, I want that every card here. Because I'm the biggest One Piece fan of our group.
Yeah, he is the biggest fan of our group, because we actually Michael watched it before the card game, like quite a bit before, but I didn't even really know that like One Piece showed that well at all. What got me into it was actually TCG, you know, card games in general, like just knowing that the game is going to come out, because I'm pretty competitive in all aspects of my life, but and so I love card games. I used to play poker for a living, and I transitioned out of that, but it wasn't for lack of like love of, you know, the game or the competition or anything. It was just like hard to sustain, and it was just a weird lifestyle. Like, the lifestyle is very lonely on the road all the time with poker and all that stuff, and you're so up and down all the time, and it was just like not for me full time. I still play poker quite a bit, but and then the next thing that happened was the next day after I talked to this Michael about it, he reached back out and he's like, I want manga shanks in English and Japanese. I want it in every single way that you can get. I want the manga. I want the regular alt art. I want the regular every shanks that is there. I want every card. Yeah, so that's kind of how it really started. And then Michael was telling me that he worked for DAP Sports, right?
Yeah. Freelance. I mean, not like full time.
Yeah, like edited a little bit of their stuff. So you kind of knew that this world has just exploded in the last couple of years.
And also, I've been Raymond. I was following him doing Pokemon opening.
Our friend Raymond does Pokemon. We have Michael here works at a card shop. And so after that day, I just had this idea. It was just like, okay, you've already worked for a company that's done it very, very well, very successful, obviously, DAP Sports. And then I know a couple guys with the skill sets behind, you know, the actual knowledge of the cards, the knowledge of the card market, the knowledge of just the games. Like, they're Michael's very, very good at the games. Will We have a friend, William Craddock.
Fourth man.
Yeah, the fourth guy. He's not here right now. His name is William Craddock. He is.
Just Google his name.
Google his name.
His wiki page will show up.
His wiki page will show up. He is an absolute genius whenever it comes to these card games. And he is, anytime that you have a question about strategy or whatever, he might not even be able to talk to you about strategy because he's on such a high level. It's hard for him to really talk to people that are it's like on our level almost sometimes even. And we're pretty good players. And
He just has that raw.
he does. I talked to Will about it and got the he was in immediately, just 100%. I told him that I had a friend who's on the editing side of stuff and he had been wanting to start something. I knew that me and Will probably would eventually start something just because he's too good at what he does. And I've done a lot of stuff in terms of like acting and some other stuff like that. So I wanted to eventually start something to where it was something that I already enjoy, which is playing these card games, but I also wanted to entertain. And that's that's the goal. And I think today it makes it so easy with all these different platforms that you can stream from, that you can, just make videos very easily. You can take your phone and just, just make a movie if you want. You can do whatever. So it's cool that technology has given us that.
Yeah. We're starting with One Piece because it just came out. The hype's there. We have boxes for days. We're trying to like open up the cards, go to all the tournaments, do all the treasure cups. You guys are gonna clean house.
Yeah, we hope. We're gonna try.
We're gonna clean house.
Yeah, I think that we're pretty good in comparison to like the average player, and we're not bragging or anything like that. It's just we practice a lot, so it's not like we're just getting out there and we're just better than everyone. I mean, that's kind of.
And we're gonna make videos that like help you guys.
Educate the games too.
Yeah, we want to help. We want to because that was a big thing that I wanted to do with this as well. Because I remember I started in Digimon, which was only 2 years ago, Mike?
Yeah.
So that was COVID was going on everything's deep in COVID shut down. So like these the card market blew up. Also the game, everybody's playing. And still trying to be safe with COVID going on, but at the same time, like people are wanting to play these card games and just trying to collect and everything.
They're getting that free money, and I didn't buy a car.
Yeah,
I have
think of that stimulus money.
I stepping and buy
Go to TCG Player.
100% and just end it all. Spend it all.
It was wild watching price.
That was like did you? And so since I started in Digimon, I'm pretty new to this market. Like I played cards for like I said, the skill set is transferable for sure, but it's still pretty different than this stuff.
Yeah.
But what I really felt like was missing from the community, and not to shit on anybody or anything like that, it's just I was trying to learn. I was trying to like get good on my own. I had a couple friends who knew how to play the game, and I knew that like Will was really good and a couple other people, but I could only spend so much time learning from them. I wanted to learn on my own. So I've been looking up like Digimon and other card games and trying to learn how to play. And I just felt like there was just a lack for you would see people that did pack openings. You would see people that did, some gameplay. You would see people that have, an edited like good layout video, but there was like things that were missing and they didn't really explain certain things well. You couldn't see the cards or what they did. So you really had to have like you had to start at a certain knowledge to even know what was going on. And I felt like, well, what if we just created an all-around community, like an all-around, what is it? Like our show, let's create an all-around show to where we do live pack openings. We're going to do we're all these different things.
But really, like, we're a gaming organization. A gaming organization. We're going to do all the games. We're going to try to educate. We're going to live pack openings. We're going to give back to the community because these card pack openings, like we know, like you guys can't get boxes, and like that sucks.
You can't get boxes, and if you can get boxes, the prices are outrageous.
So we want to be able to give back and so educate.
I mean, just today we did a live pack opening earlier that we streamed on YouTube. Our winner pack was an alternate art Don Quixote leader, and it was just like that. That's $100. It's about $100 card, and that's just it. We're gonna be honest that's the card they won. They're getting it. I mean, we already have it written down. It's off screen, like right here, just waiting to get sent to the person. So I'm excited. Like I said, it's really cool that happened. You know, because you can't make that stuff up. I mean, you can't see what's in those packs. It's like that's the one we set aside for him, and he ends up, you know, getting a great pool. But so we are also what Michael started that off with is like we are gonna branch out into other games.
Yeah, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh, probably a little less of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Besides maybe some like fan stuff, like maybe we packs, whatever. But like it's in terms,
We also want to collaborate with other.
Yeah,
We know that the people in the Pokemon scene that know a lot more than us about that.
Yeah, I did want to give a shout out to was it Card Protagonist? That whenever I was trying to learn the game and trying to see any content that felt good for these TCGs and like especially these newer games, because like any game that's within the last two, like you see a lot of Magic and you see a lot of like Pokemon, but like and especially Magic because it's very, very, very competitive. And that's what that whole world is, which I think is going to happen to some of these other games. But they're so new, and with Digimon, they were probably the only channel that I ended up being like, okay, this is the one. Like and they've gotten so much better since. Like they're really, really good now. Y'all should, whoever watches this should check them out. They're very good. But yeah, what do you think, Michael? What do you see this like? I know like kind of gathered the group or whatever, but when you came into it, maybe a little hesitant. I know, but like, but like,
What was your hesitation? What were you thinking?
I've always wanted to do, you know, something like this and be involved with cards, but it was a weird time because I was finishing up grad school. You know, a lot of things are very just like unsure on things, and I was like, let's try this out. I'm like, you know, I don't know, we'll see where it goes. I don't want to be, you know, like get too excited and then like let myself down. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm kind of a hesitant person in general.
no,
When it comes to things like that, especially like big risks, which I feel like this, you know, it almost feels like a big risk, but you know, the more that we're getting into this, I'm like, okay, I see what's here and what's missing in the community. Like, you know, with me and Will, like our card knowledge, and I've been playing cards for over 20 years. So it's not like, you know, there's just so much we can give back to the community. And like Bobby, you know, he said he's a newer player to these card games, which is like, it's almost perfect that he's there so he can like, he can ask those questions sometimes that like me and Will might forget, you know, like, oh, that's, you know,
y'all been playing these cards so long that sometimes having almost like a new set of eyes on like a certain strategy or anything, like just in general things that you'll learn, like card advantage, whatever it is, like those types of things, they string across every single, you know, card game that I can think of. Now there are like pitfalls that you can fall into, like, you know, decking out or whatever, the way that I did that one tournament. You know, but most of the time, like drawing cards is good, you know, just like
or like one of the most play is first.
Yes.
Like, what's the practical play?
Yeah.
Oh, I done the cool thing. It's like,
every single card, like, you know what? Let's just see if this works. Like, yeah, we're having fun. At the end of the day, this is it's a game.
Yeah.
You know? But like, we do know that there's a lot of people out there that want to be a lot better at these games. And I know that most people out there that are playing in these tournaments are at least somewhat competitive like we are. So it's going to be really cool to have you and Will's knowledge with me being able to say like, hey, can we slow that down? Like, can you explain why you did that?
Yeah.
Because that's what was that. You want to know something that's missing from the TCG community or the content creators in this community is explaining how a high level player is thinking. Yeah. Because it's kind of the teach a man to fish, catch a man to fish. It's like, oh, you should play this whenever they play that. Okay, I'll dead brain it, and whenever they play this, I will play this card. Why? Why? Like, why are you playing that card? Oh, because if I'm using a 3-cost card to block their 7-cost card, I'm in a way getting 4 points. You know, it's just ways of thinking like that are just invaluable to all these card games. Specifically, you know, there's going to be things that are specific to One Piece, specific to Digimon, but most of the things are going to be, you know, everything.
It's like a language.
Yeah, it really is. It really is like learn, because as soon as you it took me a second to get decent at Digimon. It was my first TCG, But then once I got that, the next game I learned, which was Flesh and Blood, I believe, was way easier. It was like, it was a hard, and that's a hard game. And that's not an easy game.
Yes.
So it's like that, learning that game was easier though than Digimon. And then the third game I learned, and now the fourth game and fifth game, you know, it just starting to get like, oh, these all have like some things in common.
Yeah. Once you know Magic the Gathering, there's like so many things that other games take from that. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was your first third game?
Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
No, like when was that? How long ago?
Oh, I was 9 years old and 31 now.
Oh, so yeah.
That's when it actually taught me how to read.
Were you actually playing? I don't think I've ever asked you this. Were you actually playing competitively in that like young of age, or like were you just collecting cards? Because most of these,
I had started collecting the cards, but I wanted to play so bad. And my mom's like, you gotta learn to read. And I was
Right.
like, all right, I'll learn to read. I was super remote school. But
really?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Super.
Oh, so like you were collecting the cards you didn't know how to read?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it was 9 years old. But that's what whatever makes it learn to read all by the picture.
This is coming from the most educated person here.
Yeah, he just defended his masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, are you going for your PhD?
No.
No, I'm going for. That's a long cloud. That's a lot. His wife is.
So you collect Pokemon cards, and then did you play Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I collected Pokemon cards and we went to a bookstore in town. And I saw them playing there, and I was like, oh, I want to play. And this kid was like, here, I built you a deck. And I was, you know, the other kids there, they were entertaining me. They're like, yeah, we'll play against you, blah. But like, I always, like, once that happened, I was just like, hooked. I was like, I have to play cards. And then like other kids in my neighborhood were like, I want to play. You know, I collect Pokemon cards. I was like, well, do you know how to play? And they're like, no. And I was like, I'll show you how to play.
Yeah.
And like, so they didn't know my buddies already bringing people in.
Yeah, and it is because like that's how I feel. Anytime that I have somebody that's like, I don't know, it's like I'll teach you, because the more people that you can bring in, it's like it makes the game bigger. And that's just good for everyone.
Yeah, but me and my buddies in the neighborhood, we started playing, and then like I would just look up tournaments, and I was like, hey, there's this Battle Roads in like a Ryan's Buffet. Y'all want to go? And so we went, and like we played with like all these cards that were banned, and they were like, you can't have sleeves. Like, you know,
That's hilarious. And they're playing with like different sleeves and stuff.
yeah, we had to go run to the Walmart next door and get starter decks so we'd have like legal cards, and like we built them right there.
That's mine. I never heard that story. Like so
We're in a restaurant, in the back of the restaurant, like my folks.
this is even like a newer thing. Like I don't even think about the type of sleeves that you have, because it's just default. You style the same sleeve for every card. So you're saying that you had different sleeves, like, oh, my most rare card, my best card has this sleeve and two stuff. So now what's funny is that you weren't even thinking of that as a kid.
No.
But you're like, I want to keep my best one in my Charizard sleeve. Like, that's going to be awesome. But then you play the game, and you're like, yeah, well, we know that you know to pull a good card from
Dude, they were like 13.
like,
I don't know.
you know. But yeah, no, I agree. At 13, I didn't even know how to play any of the games. But no, I was actually know how to play poker by that point already. I was playing poker at
I played Yu-Gi-Oh.
quite a bit when I left. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a few tournaments. It was just too sweaty for me. I didn't really have any friends that played, and so I just like went by myself, and I just got
It was
smashed.
toughest.
And like it was really hard.
And back then, it was a lot harder.
And I think if I would have had a community like this, I would have like got really into it.
Well, but Matt, like back then, there was not, like YouTube was not even really.
Yeah.
I mean, you could not find not be finding anything for Yu-Gi-Oh.
I had to find prices in like magazines. That's how I used to look at card prices, because I used to throw in Yu-Gi-Oh cards to buy Pokemon cards. Because I played Yu-Gi-Oh, but there was so much of an imbalance in that game to me, and I was just like, oh, so there's no like system to this, no right reason. You can just run all the best cards, and there's like one deck, and it was like cookie cutter. You know, it was like Gemini, Goblin.
Yeah, Gemini, Type Deck, and Black Eyes, White Dragon.
So I was like, the game wasn't that appealing to me, so like, but I still played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'd look up the prices. I was in most of millions.
So that's when you were kind of getting more into the economics for it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is like there is a whole like almost like economics of TCG. Well, then there's like
Sure, yeah.
yeah, and then I mean it's like you go to TCG Player and you're like tracking cards like stocks, and I think that's like something so.
And it's so relatable to stocks that it's unreal. Like honestly, you go to TCG Player, and you take a card and you see the value that the market price is at, what it's actually selling for, and then they literally have a graph right there.
Yeah.
Now that here's how it has been sold. It is the exact. It is stocks to a T. Like
Yeah.
But it's stocks you can hold.
stocks and play. It's not
Play with.
Yeah.
and play. Absolutely not. That's not great about it. And now was another thing is going back to the DAP Sports, which those guys are awesome. They are so cool. Their content's great. Everything. But that was another thing. It's like, man, they're doing this great TikTok on all this stuff, for sports cards. Well, I like sport. There's quite a few people I know that like sports cards, but it is all collector.
Yeah. All collect.
It's all collector. There's no actual I get usability, or there's no actual what utility thing.
Yeah.
But utility for the cards, and it's a sleeve it and put it up and maybe sell it, whatever. And in this, it's like, all right, well, maybe we sleeve this one. I'm going to sell this one, but I need to play with these. So I know that's how I don't have to be flashy necessarily. I want to play with my cheaper cards and then keep my more expensive ones in really good shape. But I know Will, our friend, the fourth, is he's very flashy with his deck, and we've got a nice work everything out. Yeah, and everything's a parallel. He owns the arts cards.
Yeah.
He does that's what he does. He does that best. Man, not many things in this life are that interesting to him. Yeah, he's a very this is fun, and then this is what I like.
And that's great.
Yeah,
and we're lucky to have him. God damn.
These are definitely. If he wouldn't have agreed to do it, I don't know. I don't think I would have gone through with it. I'm not kidding. I wouldn't have wanted to go through it with anybody else. If you would have not agreed, it would have been tough. If Michael would have not agreed, it was. But Will not agreeing is that would be just such a blow. Because not only have we been friends, really good friends here, the last couple years since I got into the game, he taught me my first one and everything. But also, I just know how knowledgeable he is, and it'd have been hard to do all of it without it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Oh, Will's gonna end up watching this, and he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna get such a big head." He already did. He's gonna he's not gonna watch this. Actually, he has too big of a head to watch this. I just say,
He's gonna watch it. He's gonna watch it for sure.
he might.
So the first after our first live stream, so the question on the video was they want to hear about our One Piece journey, and obviously that's what we're talking about. But it's so how did you guys get into the One Piece trading card game? Did you just hear it was announced and you're I want to play the new one, or was it what was
I'll I'll tell you 100% when out.
Okay. I was shitting on the game.
Yeah.
I was the art looks garbage, just gonna play that. And then I got caught wind of the super pre-release, and people were have you seen how much that Winter Luffy's going for? I was I'll pick up the game. Sure. I'm trying to make 7.
How much fun? Yeah, it was just 7 or
so you were attracted by the economics.
Yeah. I was all right, let me try to play the game. And Will was hyping it up. It's
this is gonna be big. This is gonna be big. Nobody people believed it, but me and Michael were skeptical because we're still in Digimon mode and a couple other games. I'm buddy, I can't learn all these games at once. I'm in Flesh and Blood, and I'm in this, and I'm stop feeding me games. But he picks up a game in 20 seconds, so it's easy for him. But he also just knew the IP behind this and the love that everybody has for One Piece, with how popular of a show it is, and it was just a perfect place to start off this.
Yeah,
because it's just it's such a great show, and it wouldn't be going on for 1,000. I don't know the exact number, 88 or something like that. That could still be right around there by this point. If it wasn't good, nobody would. There's another big three. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. Which is Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. No. Or what do you say? For anime manga, it's something 3.
I think it's a.
Oh, there.
No, so it's My Hero. It's a
Hero, really?
Yeah, I think that's the big 3 now. Well, we'll take example. It's the big 3 used to be Naruto, Bleach, One Piece.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Yeah, but okay, so something you guys have said to me, and honestly, I don't really understand it, but you guys thought the game was going to be kind of trash, but now you guys are this game is actually one of the better card games.
So
so what makes it a better card game?
I'll jump into that but like I didn't necessarily think it was going to be trash. It wasn't that I didn't. I know he did. I didn't think it was going to be trash. I just didn't want to. I did want to learn another game. I just wasn't ready yet. But then it was like the hype around it and the excitement. You just kind of feed off of that, like around like everybody's getting so excited. Like, oh, you know what? I am going to give this a try. And that's the cool thing about this, about TCG's periods. Like, this is going to have a lot of competition. Like, the tournaments are going to fill up. Because that's the thing. If a card game isn't that great, then nobody's going to show up to the tournaments and nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
But then the game actually came out, and it definitely blew my expectations away. Not that I thought it was going to spoil and it's terrible, but it definitely blew my expectations away. And I'll let Michael take off with like why he thinks it's good, and I'll see if I know the same thing. So I know I have one thing so specific to why it's great.
So during the Super pre-release, like started doing some research, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll play this deck. It's supposed to be the best one. And I started playing it, and there was a lot of skill involved. Like I'm coming off of Digimon, still playing Digimon, where that game is so explosive, and like,
what do you mean by that?
Just like how fast that game is. Like Digimon, you can play best of 3 game in like under 10 minutes, and you're done. And it's just like so fast. You're drawing so many cards, so many things are going on, and it's just like you can be the best player in the world and just get hosed by security, and you're just like, well, I lost RNG mostly.
Yeah,
but with One Piece, there's so much. The skill cap is higher.
Yeah,
in this game, and it really,
the floor is a lot lower.
Yeah, the floor is a lot lower.
Because like in Digimon, I hate to I like the game. I loved it. I loved it, especially the mana system that they have.
Yeah,
just like being able to control your other person's
skin back and forth.
Yeah, that's a very legit, good, cool aspect of the game. Probably the best part of the game, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing about it is just the fact that the game is not brain dead, but it's just like, oh, there's certain options that it just seems like so obvious in the game. Yeah. Like, this is what you do. This digivolves into this. This is my best play. This is, it just kind of, you look at it at your hand, and it's just, this is obviously the best thing to do here. Right. There's very few times. It's kind of like, for me with poker, it's like most of the time you do the same thing. Yeah. This. You only think in the game like really hard, maybe like once or twice in a game, maybe once in a game. Like, it's real.
But sometimes that's the beauty of it.
It is. It is great because you still have to play optimally throughout. Like, and then it's like, okay, now it's decision time. This is probably going to make or break this game. Yeah, one decision or something like that. But with One Piece, it is very saturated.
Yeah,
it is like you have to think about the Dawn, where you're going to put them, what you're going to attach it to. Do you want to attach it?
Yeah.
You just want to play all of your stuff and you use that as mana. Do you want to do this first? Because this game's going to be so much about sequencing.
100%.
That it's going to be very, very, very tough to pick up this game and to become like really, really good quickly. Like, I don't even feel like I have that much of a grasp on it, and I've been winning. You know what I mean? Like, I've been winning a lot, and I still don't even feel like I know the game that well because I noticed that, like, I have 70 options here. Like, there's a lot. Like, I could put this Dawn under my guy, which is just powering him up, or I could just use it and put other cards in play and hopefully, like, wait for the next turn.
Yeah. Making sure you use your Dawn optimally, because, like, I've seen a lot of new players, they'll start counting out their Dawn, equipping it to everybody, and then they have 2 left over, and they're like, oh, what do I do with it? This is and they might play something from their hand.
Yeah, and if you might want to shoot out of that. Yeah, most of the time it's like, I'm just going to try to expend all of my mana, and it's like, yes, you should, but that's why sequencing is so important, because you could just, whenever you attack with your leader, which you should most of the time probably be doing every time, just depends on where you're attacking, but but like, that's where your extra Dawn should go.
Right. Yeah.
That's where the extra Dawn goes. And you should know that before you play.
Right.
You should know your turn before you start going.
Yeah. I'll say this about sequencing. Like, I have lost games where it came down to just one missequence. Like,
I took cards that you've missed.
Or like, I should have attacked with this thing first and then use this ability, and because I didn't do that, I lost.
Or like the other day, we had that one matchup to where it's like, I'm not going to let him know what I'm going to do with my Dawn, but I know what I'm going to do with my Dawn. Like, I'm going to put this much on here to power up that much, attack, and then I'm going to put this much under this one, because you're not letting it. There's such a cool bluffing aspect in this game. You can leave Dawn up and like, let's see if they think that I have this in my hand to counter their stuff. And that goes with a lot of games, but in this game it's even more because you're doing that on the attack and the defense. And I was seeing bluff on both sides.
Will said he won that tournament because it bubble.
He did. He actually won a tournament the other day because of a bluff. The only way that he was gonna win was like just hopefully this guy didn't go for the win, and he left a Dawn up, just knowing that there was probably no other way that he would win. Left the Dawn up. The guy decided not to attack, and then he went ahead and finished the game out that next turn.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy how much like it matters. And a lot of new players love red and it's aggro, and I'll see them play cards and they have their Dawn and they're counting, and they're just like they're putting their stuff under their Dawn just because they want to count. That's just the wrong way to do it. Is because like red, you want to be like swing with this. Yeah, play this, then attach. The sequencing matters,
and it's also you don't have to attach the Dawn at the same time. You don't to attack, and you don't have to attack at the same time. You can do this attack, see what they do. Yeah, they block. Oh, I don't have to kill that block now, so there's no reason for me to play this. Yeah, just stuff like that.
Your decision tree is all over the place. It's like
trickles down, and you should just. It's gonna be hard to know what's best to do for your first thing, but you should start really thinking about like, this is my turn. I have 3 things I need to do in this turn. And then obviously the more mana that you have, the more things you're going to be able to do. Sometimes less, depending on what deck you're playing. Because like sometimes it's just like, I need to get up to this many dots, then I can play my big card. And that's all I do that turn. But it's so good that,
cool. Yeah, you have to recognize when your bad turns are, because I know I play green, and there's definitely when you play your big kid, that's going to be a bad turn because you're spending all your resource to play him.
Yeah.
So the only other thing you're probably going to be doing is swinging with your leader for 5k, which they can just digit card and get rid of. Right. And that's another thing with this game is like comparing it to Digimon and Magic. Yeah, kind of the extremes. Digimon, there's like no opponent interaction on your turn. Or Magic is like all opponent interaction.
Yeah,
right. But in this game, there's just enough just to arrive opponent interaction on your turn. They can counter their stuff like that.
It'll probably be more in the future, more than likely.
Sure,
but as I assume.
Yeah.
But as of more, there's going to be more like trigger cards off of your life, stuff like that, and then that's going to have this effect. You play this for but. That's my guess of where the game is going to eventually go. But as of right now, there is such a good amount of interaction.
And I think that's what makes that ceiling higher.
Yeah.
It's like
it does.
Learning what cards to discard, what cards you want to keep in your hand for that matchup, when to discard them.
Yeah.
Definitely makes a big difference.
I think that you agree with this, but I don't know if you know it. Well, no, I know that you've noticed it because we've talked about it, but the mana system is my number one. I think that it is so good because you never have to worry about being mana screwed.
Yeah.
Now, I like Digimon because you have this control aspect of the other person's mana, but the cool thing about this is exactly how much you're going to have each turn. And even though that you think that might kill the game or what, because that's what my initial thought was. Well, then there's no, this aspect to it or whatever.
Still a lot of RNG.
But what it is it brings that RNG down. It brings the luck aspect down to a point to where it's going to be way, way better of a competitive scene than I ever thought possible, just because of people not having to rely on luck so much. So you're going to have really, really, really good players winning more often than they do at other games, for sure, just because they are not going to be getting, so unlucky to where in Digimon, I don't draw a Ruby. That could rip there for a while. That would just ruin your whole game.
Yeah.
You just can't win. And they don't have mulligans in Digimon. They tried it out for a second, but went away from it. But if you don't draw Ricky there for a long time, it just, it's game over. And then how that's
most people didn't see a whole forward.
He has his most people have, no Magic to where it's like, oh, I didn't draw any lands this game. All right, I was going to game 2.
Yeah, there's been very few games. I've definitely lost games because my opponent just drew better and more piece. But those are way fewer than Magic
Yeah, because you've been consistently really, really winning at this game. Like, you shut there. Well, I'm not talking about you and Will's matches. Yeah, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about just like against other people in like local tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You haven't lost very much, have you?
Not that
Well, just be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you can brag or something.
I mean, I usually finish in top 4.
Yeah,
Usually.
for sure. And then, I mean, you've won, what, a couple now tournaments?
Just 4.
One tournament the other day? That was your first one? I got a look for you. In?
Well, you give yourself a pat on the back.
And you and Will both were. Yeah. Don't worry, you were playing. Like, no, Will was playing. Will was like playing that deck that he was just like, I built this the last night. Now I'm just going to see how it works.
That tournament, I beat Will. The first round, I was like, I got it.
No,
I lost in the game, so what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, we still in those matches too. We need to think they're on that camcorder. We need to harvest them. Yeah, for sure. What about you, man? What are you excited about for this? I mean, like, because you have a lot. I mean, we all have our lives and a lot going on, but I know that you have a lot going on with, I know you're mostly freelance a lot of times, so like, you might have some space, like a chunk of space here, for stuff. But
I mean, I'm excited. First off, I just think this type of content, I'm excited to keep it going. Like the live openings are so fun. I am excited for the like play-by-play games. I'm excited to do this podcast where you guys are kind of like breaking down the games, and also like potentially we've talked about doing some live tournaments, getting that going. I think that I really think that's super fun because it will build a community not only online but like actually like people in front of us too. And now I'm super excited to like follow you guys to these tournaments. And like I've never, I mean, like I said, I did Yu-Gi-Oh way back in the day. I've like seen some Magic tournaments, but like I've never been to like the real like pro real and TC.
So like you never gone to like a convention center where games are being played. Yeah, there's like 5. Oh my god! It's like doing dang order. I mean, or like there could be. I mean, the Dallas tournament that we're going to pretty soon is going to have 512 people just in that tournament.
Yeah,
and usually there's side stuff going on at these.
And that's the cap. That's what they were like.
That's what they said. We're done at we're done at 512. I'm sure there's a waiting list as well. So like that's how popular this game is.
And Vegas was 256 and it sold out in 3.
You gotta think most games. Now I know the IP is huge, so it makes sense. But most games do not even they can't even reach their cap on much smaller caps. When they're like locals is like hard to get 5 people there for a lot of games. Like those games die just because a lot of times it's product and like how bad they are keeping up with product, stuff like that. Yeah. This game did not have a small bit of product come out. They came out with a lot of product. The reason why the prices and stuff are so high is just because that's the demand. I mean, there's still a demand supply. But here's the thing. The supply was super high. They actually did pretty good at getting supply out to these to the stores and stuff. The thing is that, but the demand, because the love of the show is, it just
and also TC's handed. People just like card games, like just know they see you play, I don't know, My Hero Academia or something like that. You get a few people in there, and then you see like One Piece is coming out, and your buddies are talking about it, and then you like, oh, how the first locals goes? Like we had 18 people, and they're like, you had 18 people, and like people just like that competition, and I want to be where the people are.
And like at 18 people for a locals is pretty good.
Yeah, because, for most of the time now, for like week.
Most of the time, these are like during the week. Like we do One Piece Wednesdays. At, his card shop.
And I've heard of other areas where like people are talking about London. They're like, we just had our 5th locals, and then it's like the first week.
We have a good community here. We have a good. I know we keep something like we really do like
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is what I'm saying. Like especially at our smart area, like the OKC area, the metro areas. It's actually a lot of really good players.
Yeah,
too. Sure. So it's not because I've gone other places and played, and not even like to shit on them, but like they think differently. Yeah. It's almost like their strategy is very different. Like you'll go to some place and everybody's playing to win. Like I feel in our stores, you'll have the occasional player that they're still figuring it out and stuff. But like there's like if there's 18 players at a local here, I mean you have quite a few that are like really good, and also they're playing to win. And the reason I know you think everybody's playing to win, though, I'm just talking about their actual style. because there's a style that's playing not to lose, playing to win. You know what I mean? Like Fun Dick, you'll have some guy like the guy that will be. If that guy was playing to win and he wasn't so scared to lose on the next turn, that's what cost him the game.
Yeah.
If he would have just been like, you know what, if you have it, you have it. I'm going for the win here. He would have won the game and won the tournament.
Right.
But what he did was he sat back and he's like, you know what, he could have this, so maybe I can get to the next round and then I can win. And that's just sometimes that's the way to play. Sometimes it is like to show that more conservative, especially if you, and I'm talking really fast, especially if you're playing a control deck.
Yeah.
But even then, sometimes it's just good to just go for the win. And these are the types of things that you're going to learn, like with, this guy, Will. I'm talking to you.
I'm an aggressive player, and like this game is
I am too.
punish me so much. I've lost some games by just being aggressive. That's like, shit, I should have held back. That's different. Not been aggressive.
So that is different too than playing to win. But yes, playing to win is like knowing when it's time to I'm going for the win this turn.
Yeah.
I'm not scared to go for the win this turn, but if it doesn't work out, I am going to lose this game.
Yeah.
That's how it does work a lot of times.
But I love new card games like that like almost punish me for being aggressive, because it's like it helps me slow down. It helps me be a more rounded player,
Yeah.
so you can learn to play differently in styles. And like, but sometimes you gotta know when to, like Bobby said, just going for the win.
Yeah. And going back to what you're saying, I also love, because like I'm a One Piece fan, and honestly, I'm not a huge anime guy. Like One Piece is real. Yeah, I mean, I like Cowboy Bebop. I watched a little Death Note back in the day, but yeah, I'm not a huge anime guy. But I just think One Piece has such heart as a show, and like hearing like you guys who weren't into the show, and now the card community is getting you into the.
Yeah, it's almost like the opposite. Like a lot of people are playing the card game because of the show, and we're watching the show because we're playing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm on episode like 18 or something, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm studying the show more than I would even just watching it. I'm watching it now because it's good show. I can tell it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, what about this character? What is this character? What is
There was, in fact, it's funny because there was a moment where, like, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but there's a character that's technically two characters.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
Yeah.
And then one of the characters was talking, and then they said that name, and I was like, wait, I know that person from the cards. Whoa, that's crazy. So that was fun, Who has seen that? I'm gonna keep watching.
Back on it. Yeah, it really is though.
No. It was actually Luffy's mom.
Yeah, Duff can't teach. And also, like, because we got the One Piece video game coming out, like, in a list. Wait, we might have to try to do something for it. We might have either we do like a live playthrough, maybe like, I don't know, something like that.
Cards too. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting them here, but I know in Japan.
Yeah. And then, we have the live action show that's coming out on Netflix, which
I did not. I got everything. I didn't even hear about that.
So here's the thing. Yes, almost every live action anime that's ever come out has been not good.
They didn't get it quite right.
Yeah, the Death Note movie was terrible. However, I will stand by Cowboy Bebop. I think that show had problems. It was not as good as the anime, but I thought it was a fun show, and I wish it had more seasons coming out. I
haven't seen it, so I can't say.
I think it was a fun show, and I think, because I know Oda is helping with the live action.
No, that's good.
I do think I have hope for it. I'm not saying I'm setting my expectations low, but it's just like there's so much going on with the One Piece world, and the card game. It's just like
it only keeps getting bigger.
Yeah,
I don't really. Like, remember as a kid, no one really talked about it, and it's just slowly been like, dog, you can catch up this Sunbird. Like, you just watch all hundreds.
I'm telling you, I could go through 300 episodes in a couple months.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah,
I started watching back in like early November, and I'm like 160. So,
and like, I don't know if you guys are interested. Like, maybe we do some live reactions to the show. I know we can't like actually show the show, but I've seen people like do like a timer on the episode and like we like watch it. So maybe
like just some big moments in the film. Yeah, that'd be
we could do some if that's something you guys want to see, like comment or whatever.
I want to see it.
One of the
RSD Bobby react to stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
yeah, who's this second character that's people like
What? She has 2 cards too.
She does.
Yeah, I thought I figured it out just from the cards.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I was just like, yeah.
That's funny.
Navi.
She's actually by over.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting, and like I think I don't always get to work on content that I'm like actually passionate about. A lot of the time, it's like, all right, this is like kind of cool. I'm gonna like
Edit this.
I'll make it, but like this is stuff that I like. I mean, I'm having fun.
That is the point of this, dude. Is just like, hey, let's take something that we were already gonna do. I know at least me and Michael are gonna be traveling around doing this tournament for sure, and that is, I cannot wait for that stuff.
Oh, dude. First tournament, January 21st in Houston.
Like, you don't see people out there like filming like what it's like to go to a big tournament. And I know people are fans of that. I used to be such a fan of watching that for poker.
Yeah.
And like going to like the World Series of Poker, what it's like, and while they're at the tournament and playing other side of it, like because most people think it's just a main event. It's like not. It's you'll play games at that tournament that don't even really exist outside of the tournament anymore, and because like they're old games, like 5-card draw.
Yeah.
Like that is not, like 5-card vote. You have 2-7. You'll have 2-7 stud, like stuff like that. 7-card stud. There's a lot of games, and I play almost none of them. I play 2, Omaha and Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
That's about it. And I don't even play like Limit Texas Hold'em, which is like not very much different, but it's very different in the way that you play though. So
Right.
And I'd say like going to big like TCG tournaments, like it's so fun, but it's also like can be nerve wracking. But like one of the coolest things is like going there and like meeting other people, and like instantly just like getting along with them and talking to them.
because you're gonna meet some of the building people.
You'll play like a few rounds, like first couple of rounds, you might meet somebody cool, who's your opponent. And, later in the day, they're like, oh, how was your round? I'm like, oh, man, it was good. And yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah, that is right. You almost act like you're like kind of a team because that was the first that you played, and that you're both like, all right, let's get this thing going. I got a long day. I got I go win a lot.
Yeah, you go there and everybody's nervous.
Yeah.
Like if you're not, you might be sick.
Rams just don't care.
There's a lot of pressure.
I've done a lot of big tournaments, like I said, for like the poker stuff and like acting, other stuff that I've been extremely nervous on. So I'm usually less nervous than the guy I'm playing. I say that, which helps a lot.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you make a lot of mistakes whenever you're too nervous, but I'm still nervous because I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Not like oh, I want to win, and I want to try to get to the end, and I want to I just hope I don't make mistakes. So you're gonna have those thoughts also. And and also I'm just excited to be here. Like, oh, this is so cool, especially after COVID, which is just like, oh, we can get together in person again and play these cards in person, because I'm just not a big fan of playing like on webcam or those. I just don't like that structure at all. You're so disconnected, and it's hard to see what people are doing, and it's just rough. So like the fact that we get to go in person again and get to play in Dallas is going to be 512 people in the tournament. It's going to be so much fun.
That's awesome.
And, yeah.
And there's so much to these card games too. Like, yeah, you can play on webcam, you can, but there's like so much more to the game when you're sitting across from your opponent that like you just do not get.
You played it for the environment.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, kind of like
More psychological.
yeah, or just seeing that person across from you like changes like your mindset, because like a webcam will be like, who is this guy? Why is this mic sucks? Just like this and that, and it's that's just completely different. And there's that connection that just misses.
Mm-hmm.
Like going to the live tournaments.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I mean, I know I'm not gonna get to go to probably everyone with you, but I'm already like kind of regretting I didn't already buy the tickets for Houston. I mean, I might still be able to find some tickets. If you guys have tickets, give me.
We can put him but froze.
Yeah.
We get paid late.
Yeah, we'll give you a giveaway.
Let's give you some more piece cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And definitely can do that.
Yeah.
We have a good collection.
Oh yeah. We're
Pretty decent.
trust. And it's also called Parallel Gaming for a reason. We got them parallels for days, bro.
Yeah. For sure. My green deck is missing one card, and then it's completely altered.
Another law.
Law and ultimate. Oh, we were trying to pull today. Was that ultimate dark law? But
Well, maybe next Tuesday.
that's true. Yeah, not this Tuesday.
Not this Tuesday, but the next one. January 10th. Maybe you'll get your full parallel deck.
Yeah, I would cry. Worst in the tears on camera. Yeah. And then y'all be like, okay, you gotta give us somebody for the card. I mean, that's
No, dude, we're a team. We're a team. All our cards are.
I feel like Thanos, you know.
Yeah.
Michael, like I finally got the last stone.
Yeah, dude.
It does feel different whenever you're there playing with like all alternate arts in a way.
It's an intimidation.
It's like, oh, this guy's serious about this game.
There's so many things like there's like playmats.
Oh, yes.
How you shuffle.
Listen, you're
I've
not.
had so many people who are like, whoa, you shuffle different. And they're like,
I guess like
making the
intimidation factor almost with the playmat stuff. Just not having a playmat. I mean, that's Will. Will like almost like he's like, oh, I don't want to playmat because I'm not a player. I don't even know how to play. And then he went from that to like 6 months later. I'm sure he had playmats and stuff because like, oh, now he's into it.
Yes.
Now he's so good that it's like, oh,
I've had this playmat. It is the shittiest thing, but I swear to God, it's like blessed or something.
Yeah.
Like it. I can't tell you how many tournaments like I've won with it and given it to people. It's a poster for some minis game. I was at a pre-release for Digimon. I was like, I don't have a Met. And I just started circling numbers for the memory gauge, and it's the most ridiculous looking thing.
yeah, I haven't seen it though.
I'll show you. I gotta get it laminated because
Yeah, we're gonna post it on the social. Do you have
it's
people see it?
dude. It's gotten 3 people invites to Nats. Like it's won so many free. I'm scared of that thing. Like,
Oh well, I like if to play against it, the person. What was lucky is that?
and no, because like every time I hit it out, I'm like, oh, it's lucky, and it like they actually do well.
It's this thing, dude. It's like when an athlete doesn't change his underwears.
What if you sit across from that thing? You probably like, the hell is that?
Right. It's like a confusion thing. Like it's like what's
You know that intimidation factor is so real. Like with the just the all alternate arts. I mean, not only does it look cool and everybody knows, like, golly, Alex, did you make your technically price your deck $2,000? Makes you feel poor all of a sudden, and you're like, oh, you can get they're expensive right now, but like you can make a deck for like not crazy, you know? Like,
Yeah, all if you want to just
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I remember I played at a tournament not that long ago, a qualifier for Magic, like a regional qualifier, and Will gave me this. It was modern, right?
Yeah.
It was one of the older ones, like formats, and so he gave me all these cards to play with. He's like, I'm going to teach you like how to play that, like this set, or sorry, this format really quickly, like topping like the night before. You know, I was playing a lot of sealed stuff. And then I went and played that, and everybody, I didn't even really know that much. And I found out like the deck was like probably like 3 to 4K. Like just like I'm not even kidding, because it was like all these different lands that were just like a joke. And everybody's like, everybody I'm playing, I barely know what I'm doing in the tournament, and everybody I'm playing goes, whoa, like that's
Yeah, what brings us like mountain? What have you heard of?
and then this card's like that too. Like, dude, what are you talking about? This card's, oh my gosh. And Will could have those and like they not even be sleeved, and you're like, no, he's actually really good whenever it comes to like the value.
Oh yeah, well, for sure.
That's funny. His attitude. But like the fact that he just was like taught me how to play that, and then just was like, yeah, you can use this. Like use these like
right?
the $4,000 cards. Like even if I was to let a friend use a $4,000 deck, I'd be like, listen, don't, right, everybody, like don't you dare, dude. I film it, and
I let a Pokemon player borrow one of my Digimon decks, and I have like 3 Death X in there that are like $100, and I just saw him go. I was like, hey, bud, nah, man, we can't walk keep a Pokemon shop with a bit with this Pokemon shop. They'll just break out,
yeah.
and it's just like, ugh. Like I can't watch this. Yeah, troll.
Yeah. What else? What would you say makes I guess like getting a little bit into more like strategy? What would you say on what not only what makes a good player, but let's say like one thing that you would say that a player should know, like whether it be the meta at the time or anything like that, what would help a player out getting started the most in terms of like, I want to become from beginner to really good or as good as I can be pretty quickly? What would you say the thing that they need to do
And for One Piece,
to let's say One Piece in particular? Yeah, like because going through all TCG would be tough, but like let's say One Piece in particular.
I mean, for a lot of card games, it's just like you have to be able to recognize what wins you the game. Like why did I win? I won that game, but why did I win that? You know, was it because of the swing? Was it because of this card? Was it because my opponent drew better? Was it because I drew better? You know, just recognizing, you know, how that game was played out is huge. I mean, I think One Piece, a lot of common mistakes I see is just like people don't know how to divide 10. And what I mean by that is like when you have 10 Dawn, it takes them a while. They have to separate it out more like that. But if you can just do numbers in your head, like, okay, this Martin has 5, I can do this and this and this. Your opponent's not seeing you move around your Dawn, and they're not trying to. So they have less knowledge of what you're thinking or what you're doing. So it's like,
yeah, like to add on to that, like for instance, you like Captain Kid. You know, Eustace, yeah, you like Kid. So it's like with that deck. If you see somebody start separating stuff out, I'm immediately, as the other player, being like, is he separating 3?
yeah,
Is he leaving 3?
is he going to leave 3 out?
It was swinging over there because that is an extra swing.
Yeah,
You know, because he has that effect to where, you know, if you tap 3, discard a card from hand, you get to swing again. You can untap him and swing it, which is such a great, so powerful in the game. But it's like me knowing that costs 3 is such an advantage for me. If you're separating 3 out, I'm like, and you could do that as a bluff, and that'd be cool to see people start doing interesting stuff like that, kind of like the Will leaving $1 out. But you know, at the beginning, just learn how to. I like that as a divide. If I learn how to divide by 10, but not in a facetious way. Like learn how to divide by 10 without showing your opponent too much of what.
just being able to do that math and like withholding that information, because a lot of this game is just like little information, you know. And like another tip I'd have to say is like 7K is a magic number.
Well, yeah,
if you swing 6K with your leader, they can discard a 2K, then that's only 1 card off the hand, right, to block that attack. But if you swing 7K, they have to get at least rid of 2 cards.
Yeah, as counters. Yeah,
I want to. Yeah,
like unless they're using like an actual an event card, thing, but that costs Dawn, so they had to leave Dawn up to play that card, which means they didn't use full Dawn on their turn. They didn't use max Dawn, so they left those up to play that. So it's kind of like their turn was a little worse in a way.
Yeah,
and maybe that was a good play by them, but it doesn't matter. It's still costing them more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Now they have to do it instead of just throwing away a 2 counter. 2 fake counter. They have to play that if they want to avoid the damage.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll swing at them knowing that your hit's not going to get through.
Well, you just want to save their hand. Yeah, I just want to like get rid of some of the cards. Yeah, because having a hand in this game is just ultimate. Like drawing cards in this game is just so good because I haven't seen anybody deck out ever in the you know what I mean? But like, so having a hand, like sometimes you'll have a hand of like 9, and you just, even if you're down in life like crazy, you're like, I feel so powerful right now. Like I have 1 life, he has 3 or 4, and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm so fine. I have 4, 5 2K counters and all this stuff. And with green, you get the 1 and you start getting scared because you can just stack them all. Eustace Kid swing twice, and you're like, oh, I can't block out 14K. Or so, whatever.
And to go back to your original question, what makes people, how you can be better at TCGs, like this is my biggest thing, is like knowing how to take an L, like not getting mad at losing and learning that losing is just a part of this game sometimes, because there's so much RNG. You can be the best player in the world and sometimes you just draw bad, and he's a vet. So not taking a loss personally, and like you're not always going to top locals. I'm very consistent at locals, but sometimes I'll go 1-2.
It's hard to get first every time.
Right.
You got to get lucky kind of deal.
Yeah. So just, realizing that losing is a part of this. That's the part of the competition, is just like having to take that. And like, if you can take away something from a loss, sometimes you can take away much more from a loss than a win.
Because you're like, I just want to learn fruit, and it's saying like that, like you said. But why did I win? If you don't know that answer, then losing is a much harder lesson, and it's a much better lesson.
Yeah, for sure. So, and just remembering that that's a part of the game. No one is undefeated in card games. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, everybody has lost a game.
Yeah, not getting mad is such a big deal. Which me, you, Will, that is one thing. Like we're pretty good players, and we keep our composure really well when we lose. It's good job, dude. You beat me.
Yeah.
Like good luck, man. The rest of the way. Because honestly, if I get mad and I go to my next round, it's gonna make me so much worse.
Oh yeah,
And everybody, and that's like, it's almost like a trope at this point. Everybody says that, but like, you'd be surprised how few people actually live by that. It's I drew bad, and having excuses too. Like,
Yeah.
there are going to be excuses that I can go to my friend after and be like, yeah, I drew bad. But if you're first of all, if you're using that excuse every time, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Was nowhere we're all about
Yeah. So maybe we should change your deck. I'm throwing that every time.
Is there a way that you could have drawn more? Was there a way that you could have thrown away the correct line? Like, but
Did you keep the best hand?
yeah, like did you mulligan it on? You got a Gashima? Yeah, that's like a mulligan. Yeah. Oh, they were like,
And I had 2 Bonnies and I just threw it back, and it's like,
yeah. And then not like calls I didn't have like by big guy, and it's like that would have found you it. Yeah, like just the way now.
or so that's my biggest thing, is like to get better is just to recognize that's a part of the game and to accept it.
That's cool because I would not have said the same thing. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Those tips are huge. I would have thought probably because I'm newer than y'all, is learn how to make the things that can be second nature, like just as little thought process as possible.
Yeah.
These games for them too, whenever they pick it up, they're going to pick it up a little quicker than I have because, I am still like in general in TCGs, I'm newer, but knowing when I draw here and then I know that I draw 2 and the discard 1, doing those things, knowing what you're going to discard, all the things that should not require that much thought. If you can just get better at the mechanics of doing all of that stuff, it just makes it to where you can put all of your brain power into the actual decision.
Yeah.
Instead of what am I supposed to be doing? Oh yeah, I need to draw. I didn't. Can I untap this? Like, just little things like that. Just untap every time. Untap this. So this, and if you have to announce it while you're doing it, whenever you're getting
that helps.
out loud, because then it's just in your head, and you're like, all right, untap, draw.
Yeah, because if you find a lot of Magic players, they'll be like untap, draw phase, and like they might be saying that out in this like second nature, but like that rhythm that counts, you are reminding yourself.
Yeah, like Will would laugh at this stuff because he's so high, but like I know for being newer that the mechanics of just like the rules of that specific game, just getting better at what is allowed, what's not allowed, what you're supposed to do every turn, and making it to where you don't have to think about it whatsoever, just because you've played so many games or gone through the motions at least so many times. And you just know when your hands are just kind of doing the stuff so that your brain can really concentrate on like, what is my one decision in this turn that I really need to have? Like, what do I need to have happen here?
And also, saying like the Magic players, the untap draw, like me and Will, when we play, we're just like, all right, get 2 Dawn, we draw, we save that. Yeah, like that's something I don't even think about. That I think like we're doing that to remind ourselves. Yeah, we're not really announcing it to our opponent. We're just like, because that's just a skill.
I would say like whenever you get to the bigger tournaments, don't announce. Just because you can announce.
Just like the get 2 Dawn, draw. Like, don't ever miss a draw.
Yeah, that's true. You have I mean, I would rather announce everything than miss a draw.
Yeah,
and you're gonna miss a draw. I mean,
yeah, drawing in card games is
OP.
That could be like 4 episodes.
Yeah, just like drawing is so important. And I remember playing Digimon with Will for the first time. You draw so much, and I was like so overwhelmed because I'm like, I don't even really know the rules, but I have 9 cards in my hand. Like, why am I drawing so much? And then Will's just like, drawing's really good.
Yeah,
drawing's really good. Yeah, like
drawing. I remember learning Digimon, and it was like every time you draw, I was like, you draw every time.
every time. I was just out, yeah,
Card advantage.
and me, I don't know about the card advantage, so I'm sitting here thinking, like, you draw every time. I got to read every single one of these cards.
Oh yeah, new people in Digimon are just like, I'm like, hey, draw your card for Digivolve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm like,
I did see a guy that had his like mat and his sleeves as what is it? Digivolve draw or something like that. It was like all over his mat.
that's a meme in the community.
He just remind himself like to draw every single time start your turn and every time that you Digivolve draw. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close to, I think, where we should wrap up. But I want to have one more question that I think is really good given the time right now, and like everyone's trying to get cards and everything. So cards are expensive right now, obviously. If you got a TCG player, they're expensive. So what advice would you have to people if they're like trying to put together a deck, they can't find boxes? Like, should they buy cards right now at TCG, or should they wait for, OP2 to come out? Like, what do you think? Like, what would you guys suggest?
I kind of defer to Michael.
One of my biggest advice is, like, if you don't have cards, but you have a local scene, just show up and be like, hey, you guys have, like, commons or uncommons? Because odds are, if you didn't get cards, those 8 dudes playing, they got cards.
They got a lot of cards.
They got a lot of cards, and they'll be happy to probably just, like, sell you some cards or give you some cards to play.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have to get all Ultras. You can buy off a TCG player, like the cheap decks. Like, I know structure decks are kind of getting crazy. Like, you're getting the Kaido decks are like $30 a piece now. But, like, if you wanted to get in the game, theoretically, if you just bought 2 Kaido decks, those are $60. And then you just bought the singles, you could build that deck for under $100. And for a TCG, like, that's super cheap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like, compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, I don't even touch Yu-Gi-Oh's price point. Yeah, but I would say go to locals, talk to your people, like, do you have extra cards? And they might be like, oh, dude, you know what? If you show up next week, I'll bring my bulk and just have some cards. And because, like, I've done that too. I always bring my bulk just in case someone shows up, or, I work at the card shop. Like, you do have One Piece? I'm like, no. But if you come Wednesday, like, I've got some stuff I could just throw in. Because it's like, you want people to get in the game, and some people are just happy to play with that stuff, and they'll.
And if I find us at the tournaments, we'll work.
Yeah, same thing like that. We do that stuff quite a bit. I mean, I've opened so many boxes now. Michael's opened up a ton. It's like I have so many commons and uncommons that there's just no way I can use. I'm not gonna save all of them. Right? You can easily get every common and uncommon that you need in one box. So like and even most of the rares, like you're gonna get just about every single thing that you need besides like the actual money cards.
Yeah, if you want to just play the game, it's not too expensive right now, and it's only gonna get
because it's not like the most expensive cards are always the best.
Exactly.
That is a big.
You don't have to play Straws.
For example, they're not like Nami, great card. Alternate Arc 200, waifu tax, regular
$1.
Yeah,
Right.
It's $1, $2.
get 4 of the dollar ones.
Yeah, if you want to
Not 4 of the $200 ones. It's like, this is easily $8. Just like, don't spend $800 on a card, on a play set of something unless you can afford it. That's it.
Yeah.
But what about just the collector scene? What do you think for that?
Collector scene?
It's really hot. Good luck. Well, it is like crazy. Like honestly, like what are you asking in terms?
Do you think prices are gonna come down when the new sets come out? Or when
I distribute? If you're just going for straight collector's point and you're looking at stuff right now, a lot of those alternate arts and stuff like that will go down over time usually, just because some of those cards will phase out and not be as played.
Phase out in the actual, because like what makes certain cards very expensive is that it has an alternate art. That's that's like the number one thing probably. And then the playability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so it's a super rare, has an alternate, and it's playable.
Yeah. Like as soon as it's Johnny, those probably won't come down much.
Yeah.
Right.
It's because they're so played. Yep.
And Soros, like his stat line, you can't print anything more powerful than that, honestly. You're gonna break your game.
Yeah, you can start getting really, really like way too, like the game would start getting almost too fast and people would start playing the same deck and it would just get like, now you better be able to like come out the game tester, like the play testers.
Yeah.
Better be able to come out with some counters for this. Like, and then it's just like, now it's like a balancing act
Yes. And honestly, if you're in it just for collecting, my advice, I don't know if I want to give this Wall Street secret out, but like when the game comes out, buy it the day it comes out on there. Even if it's like, oh, this card's $40. Should I buy it now? Yes, it's going to go up. Like the cheapest day is the day it releases. On TCG, go in there, grab what you're like. Yes. I've seen it time and time again with Digimon, with One Piece. Like,
Don't buy them early.
no, don't buy them before the pre-sale. Wait till the Friday they come out.
Pre-sale. Do not do pre-sale.
Do not do pre-sale. Do not. Friday that set comes out. The Friday that comes out, prices, people are just going to be opening them, and it's a race to the bottom.
Buy it. You want to talk about, like, there it is. Like, you want to talk about number one tip? Do not buy the pre-sale price of a card. Just because, like, some people got their cards early. Some people were able to, like, whatever it is, whether they played in some tournaments and their store didn't, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Do not pay that price for those. Wait till the day that it comes out. Everybody gets the product because everybody's going to be posting in. And guess what? They have to be competitive because now the supply is way up and that demand's still the same. So,
Right.
The demand's not going to go away for a long, like, the demand's so high for this game right now. And, like, alternate law, I've talked about, I need one more, and I'm shooting myself in the foot because they were $30 on
What are they now?
They're 87.47.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Sad.
Said about it.
Yeah, I know Will capitalized on it. He needs to buy all this stuff up. Yeah. So that's my advice if you want it. If you're just collectors, yeah. And if it's too high right now, just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Patience.
Patience will get you very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no first edition, so it's like,
Not yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think honestly, like, you guys gave out some great advice. I think like you've really like given people an idea of like what we're here for, what we're trying to build, like give to the community. Yeah. And I think like, moving forward, let us know if there's anything else you want us to do because like,
Yeah.
we're here for the, not you, the people. I mean, I'll do it. I'm your producer. That's fine.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
But yeah, like just let us know. Like, well, if you want more gameplay, if you want more live giveaways, I'm sure you.
That's like we're
We're gonna do all of that. Yeah, but we would like to know where we need to make that we're light over there. Hey, so it's a good thing that we're wrapping up.
Yeah,
We do need to know where we really want, where you guys really want to focus our
yeah.
because if we see that you guys really want those gameplays or really want like certain matchups and like because I know I want certain matchups whenever I'm like trying to like get better and play test, like you have to, and you only have so much time. So watching somebody might be easier because you can do it on your downtime. And it's like, well, they've already tested this stuff. So like, let's see if this is a good matchup. So if that's what y'all want to see, cool. We'll even put more energy into that.
Yeah.
If it's more of, the card giveaways and stuff, we'll definitely do some of that. We're definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
100%. Just let us know.
Yep.
Man, if like final thoughts, like it would really help us if you guys would like follow us on YouTube and also TikTok. We really want to start doing lives on TikTok, but we can't until we get 1,000 followers.
We're quite short of that.
We're quite short right now. We really want to start doing lives. We're probably gonna start doing stuff on Twitch, maybe Facebook, like just so. I mean, it would really help us. And if you guys, the more like involvement you guys get with us, the more we can get back to the community. So yeah. Just like
it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust me, we're gonna be doing a lot. So
Excited.